In the 1990s, my older brother was arrested in the United States, in New York City, and my family could not navigate this system. Good afternoon, everyone. And this afternoon, even with the best legal representation, we were not able to support our brother. I began to understand that within the legal system, no one really cared. I could not understand how quickly someone's life could be altered. So I took what was an experience in our family, very proximate, very intimate, to then say, if this happened to my brother, it should not happen to anyone else. Within the United States, we treat young people who are justice system involved as young people who are deeply involved in a criminal engagement or activity. What is always being assessed and examined is what are the risk factors, what are the risk indicators. It's not based on anything that is on their actual potential. At the core, the argument is, can young people who are impacted by the system make a contribution to society?
In our most recent book, it was about the future of work, and we did a particular chapter focused on justice involved youth, and it focused on Exalt, because it really looked at understanding the multiple identities and dimensions of a young person and thinking about an intervention. We knew that they would be a great partner for us because we felt like so many conferences that talk about justice involved young people are going to be different than conferences that focus on youth workforce development, that are going to be different than conferences that work on K through 12 education. And we're like, no, all these things go together.
Any young person, which is particularly Black and Latinos, they are being asked to approach the world, navigate system as an adult.
This symposium, we do a few things. One is we think about crossing the silos. How do we get practitioners in the room? How do we get scholars in the room? And how do we get policymakers in the room? All to talk about what are the major challenges, but also opportunities for innovation to support this vulnerable population.
This is where I get excited. It's like, so then what could potentially happen when you bring in the collective who are always thinking on behalf of young people and the future?
You commit something as a juvenile or a young person, does that follow you? Does it have to follow you? You know, how can you be beyond your mistakes because we're not our mistakes? Those are things that we want to discuss, like how do we change perception? How do we change policy? How do we change practice when it relates to young people coming through the court system?
I have to give so much credit to Dr. Lisette Nieves and the Fund for the City of New York and the Center for Youth and the Future of Work and Exalt for putting this symposium together, but for inviting people like me to make space and room for a story like mine that is representative of queer and trans folks.
I definitely think they've done a great job in this conference to bring together the right people who can then go out there. Because actually, you only need a few people who are committed to go out and be the change makers.
It doesn't matter what color you are, ethnicity, religion, which side of the pond you live on. We all have a common collective goal, which is the progression of society.
There is a real disconnect between practitioners and experts in the judicial system. And it's wonderful to have us all together, to come away and to come to Oxford and have us think together. I mean, it really deeply is exciting, simply because when we want to develop solutions, you just have to bring the appropriate people together. The potential is extraordinary, and that's the point exactly.
We're not the sum of our mistakes. And most of the young people that we see coming through court system or juvenile justice system believe there's something wrong with me. And the whole goal is to say, no, you did something wrong, but there's nothing wrong with you.